Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Sterling, to both those in person and those online. My name is Kim Fitzgerald, and I'm honored to serve this congregation as a member of the Worship Associates team. We are pleased to have a guest speaker and musician with us this morning. Jillian Matundan is a lifelong multi-instrumental, singer-songwriter, trade unionist, and first-generation Filipina American who has delighted audiences with her resonant vocals, acute and relatable observations matched with her unique guitar style and sense of humor. Hailing from Central New York, Jillian has been a musician since she was 3, and she began playing the violin and has picked up a number of instruments since. She's self-taught on many of them. After a 15-year hiatus from writing and playing her own music, Jillian returned to it in 2019 and has been on a tear ever since, winning multiple songwriting awards, playing numerous shows and venues, and collaborating with musicians on stage and in the studio. She is involved with many organizations and is the president of Focus Music, a DC and Baltimore metro area organization. Jillian's debut EP, Hanging On, was released in June of 2020, and her first full-length album, Singing to the Moon, debuted at number 6 on the Folk Alliance International chart in May of 2024. So welcome, Jillian. And we will open our service this morning with a gathering song from Jillian titled Hanging On.
Thank you. I should probably change my bio so that you can hear me first before you hear all that. And you can choose for yourself. So this is the title song of that debut album that I released in June of 2020. It's a great time to release music. You say that you're stuck in this place. You say you can't see, and you don't know the way. And you want to believe all the lies you tell yourself. You've got the answer, but keep asking for help. What do you need to know that you don't already feel? So what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna say? And what are you gonna think when it all goes away? And how will you feel when it's gone? Who are you helping by hanging on? Hanging on. Ooh. I wish you would breathe. I want you to know you deserve all you want, so learn to let go. You push so hard, you hope it all works out. Ignore all the signs and push away your doubt. If you just listen, you will hear what you already know. So what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna say? And what are you gonna think when it all goes away? And how will you feel when it's gone? Who are you helping by hanging on? You're waiting for someone else to make a move. You're hoping that you won't have to choose. So what will it take for you to see? All it takes is you to be free. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say when it's all gone? I hope that you will stop hanging on, hanging on. Ooh. 10 a.m. when I hit the edge of town. If I drove any faster, I'd fly right off the ground. 'Cause every mile brings me closer to your touch, and every hour shows me time is not enough with you. You read my mind. Yeah, you read my mind. You read my mind. When it was time to leave, I didn't even say goodbye. 'Cause there's a part of me that's still afraid to cry. Now every mile brings me further from your grace, and now all I've got is this guitar to fill your place. 'Cause you read my mind. Yeah, you read my mind. You read my mind. The longer I lay here, the more that it seems my reality is caught up with my dreams. There's gotta be someone up there looking out for me. 'Cause you read my mind. Yeah, you read my mind. You read my mind.
Our reading is a quote from Oliver Sacks. Music can move us to the heights or depths of emotion. It can persuade us to buy something or remind us of our first date. It can lift us out of depression when nothing else can. It can get us dancing to its beat. But the power of music goes much, much further. Indeed, music occupies more areas of our brain than language does. Humans are a musical species.
So, I don't do requests unless I'm asked to. Thank you for getting that. And after reading that quote, this felt like the right one. And Chris had actually said, feel free to play that cover, you do. So here it goes. Ticket to anywhere, maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Started from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car, I got a plan to get us out of here. I've been working at a convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs and finally see what it means to be living. You see, my old man has a problem. Lives with a bottle, that's the way it is. His body's too old for working. His body's too young to look like his. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said, somebody's got to take care of him. I quit school, that's what I did. You got a fast car. Is it fast enough so we can fly away? We gotta make a decision. We leave tonight and live and die this way. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us. Your arm felt nice right around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belong. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. We go cruising to entertain ourselves. You still ain't got a job. You work in the market as a checkout girl. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. We'll move out of the shelter, buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us. Your arm felt nice right around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belong. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. I got a job that pays all our bills. You stay out drinking late at the bar. See more of your friends than you do of your kids. I'd always hope for better. Thought maybe together you and me find it. Ain't got no plans, ain't go nowhere. So take your fast car and keep on driving. So I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us. Your arm felt nice right around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belong. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. Is it fast enough so you could fly away? You gotta make a decision. You leave tonight and live and die this way.
Hello. So we have Jillian with us this morning, and I have referred to her as our guest speaker, but clearly she is our guest musician as well. And when putting together this service, we had the idea that an interview-style format would make it interesting. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask Jillian some questions, and she's going to share her experience through that format. So in your bio, you say that you started playing music at 3 years old.
Right.
So clearly you have a musical background. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right, so I was 3. My mom found me with, I had a toy ukulele. She found me with the ukulele tucked under my chin because I'd seen Elmo play the violin on Sesame Street. And she said to me, "Is that something you want to do?" And I said, "Yeah," because, I was 3 and I didn't know any better. And so she said, "Okay." So off to Suzuki lessons I went. And it turned out that I had an aptitude for it. And so within a couple years, I was actually training to be a concert violinist from that time, and playing shows, practicing 3 hours a day, multiple lessons a week, while going to school, because, that wasn't going to stop. But at around 12 or 13, I said, "I don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life." And my mom was like, okay. I could see like the money that she was calculating in her head for how much it costs for all those things. And she said, well, what is it that you want to do then? And I also then had to tell I'm a first generation Filipino American. And I also then had to tell my mom I wasn't going to be a doctor or go into medicine either, because I had no idea how I was going to do a concert violin and a doctor at the same time. So I said, no, I'm going to go to law school. She went, great, okay. And then when I went to college and I told her, I'm not going to law school, I'm going to go do something else, she was like, cool. I'm really grateful to have a very supportive family. But I am also the only person in my family to not go into the medical field. But because I had when you start learning how to play music that young, it becomes a second language to you. So there are certain things that, I imagine that if I had learned other languages at the time, I would be very fluent in them. It's just something that I can do because I learned it so young. And because of that, I did train on other instruments. I trained on piano and flute and even the sitar, much later in life, once I learned what that was. And then I just picked up everything else. So that's kind of how. But because I had this foundation, like you said, I had a foundation that I could pick up and learn other things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So your bio says that you returned to music in 2019 after a 15-year hiatus.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Life. There's no better way to explain it, right? So when I went to college, I moved to New York City. I was doing a fellowship in public affairs. Our first day was a government placement. I was at FDNY headquarters on September 10th, 2001. It was a very informative year, and it's not to say that that was the reason I stopped playing music. That's not it. It's that I decided to turn my attention to other things. And from there, I built a career. I started my career in the labor movement, and I've been in the labor movement ever since. And I was working in the political world, so I was traveling all over. And so it was really hard to be grounded in anything. I can't believe I had a cat at one point. Like, I'm surprised that cat survived. Because I was always moving, but that's really the biggest reason I wasn't doing music for so long. And an inconvenient truth that I was telling myself, the lie I was telling myself was I was in a band in high school, and I thought, I can't possibly write music without other musicians. Well, that was a lie. And so I think that in 2018, I started to feel an itch. I started to feel like something was missing. And I went to a retreat with Dar Williams. She does a songwriting retreat, if you know who Dar is. And that was it. I thought, oh, right, I was always meant to come home. And so I've been doing that ever since, and it's been surprising, but lovely. And now it's brought me to places like this where I get to connect with great communities, and so that's what triggered the pivot and how I came back to it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So now, how would you say that music has changed your life?
Well, again, when you grow up with it, it's really hard to recognize how important it is, but I think that because I had that distance from it, it really made me understand that it was much more of a part of my life than I thought it would be. Music has always been the place where I could hide. I'm also an only child, if you couldn't tell. It's fine. You just met me. No, but I was an only child and, working class kid born and raised in Syracuse, New York. And that's why my cord is orange, just for the record. Everybody has difficulties in life, and I think that the one thing that music gave me was not just a place to hide, but a place to find myself and a place that was safe. And so for me, it's always been a place where I can go when I have issues or when I'm feeling great. I pick up that instrument, I pick up any instrument, and the world disappears. And I think that the other thing that's been really interesting to me is how much, that Oliver Sacks quote is quite true. I think that music is one place where it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, who you love, what you vote, how you think. It's the one place where we can be on the same ground together. And you either like the music and it speaks to you and you move on to another song or another genre. And I think that that's the beauty of music. It just brings people together. And I've found that in very difficult places, that is the one thing that levels us all. And so I'm grateful for it. And I would say that, coming back to it, I think I've realized how much it really did matter to me. It really mattered to me. And it's a place where I can feel safe, which is very crazy in this world today. So, yeah. Now it's very much my safe place.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Now, you've got your sign here
I
for
do.
Focus Music, and we've mentioned Focus Music a few times.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So Focus Music, we are an organization, like you said, DC, Baltimore area, but we've actually expanded to Charlottesville. We held a concert here a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't know what time it is. 2 months, 1 month ago. We brought Jessie Terry here. We were supposed to have Hallie Neal, who's also an incredible singer-songwriter, but she got sick, so they had to look for somebody to fill that spot, and it was me. So, what we do is we bring musicians from all over, touring musicians, specifically, very specifically, in a lot of cases, to communities. So we partner with community spaces. We're very, very lucky and honored to be doing that with all of you. But also in Silver Spring, we run a venue there. We do one in Gaithersburg. We have one in Alexandria, and the one here. So those are our 4 majors plus Charlottesville now. And what we do is we bring in traveling musicians and we give them an audience. And we show the audience sort of, the beauty of music, but also their music. And I think that, having decided to take music on more seriously, I can tell you that as a musician, it can be very hard to find an audience. It can be very hard to, this sort of, you're on the road all the time, finding places to play, and receptive audiences can be difficult. Our aim is to find a way to bring those audiences to those musicians, and also to create the community, because like I said, music brings people together, and I think that, where we can partner with established communities that appreciate music, that really are interested in that kind of ecosystem, that is sort of where we want to live. We also pride ourselves on being one of the organizations that also pays the musicians better than most, because it is about sharing their music, and it is about them connecting to audiences all over, wherever they go. And so we are a 401c3, and we have members, and we do things we're starting to do more things for the membership. So we just had we called it a Sunday Fun Day, and we partnered with the Songwriters Association of Washington, D.C., SAW, and we did a singer-songwriter, I guess it was a showcase. And it was at Mackenzie's Tunes and Tonics in Fairfax, if you're familiar. If not, it's a great location. And we brought Taylor Abrahams, who is a singer-songwriter from Canada, and they were our featured artist for the day. And then we also had myself and a couple other local artists together, and it was really great. And it was this really lovely way for people to be connected to Taylor, and they hadn't met them before, and all of a sudden it was like, people were like, who is this? How come I've never heard of him? That's what we aim to do. And last year we had in Sterling, we were at a different location, and we brought people like Jay Jin, who's from Baltimore, who's an incredible songwriter, and we had Girl Blue from the Albany area in New York come in, and then we brought Vance Gilbert. If you know Vance Gilbert, he's a pretty well-known folkie, and he's phenomenal. And we had our friends Sue Horowitz from Ithaca, New York, Gabrielle Zwi from Maryland, Silver Spring, and some local, we had a local, her name escapes me, but our whole point is to connect audiences to musicians, communities, to local artists in ways so that we could have more of this conversation. It's really hard, again, venues are closing everywhere. Ever since the pandemic, people have so many places to go. So it's really important for us to find ways to kind of focus light on these musicians.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with Focus Music, and what is your role?
So I'm the president of Focus Music. Don't know how that happened. Just kidding. I kind of know, but I have no idea how that really happened. But there is a membership meeting every year, and every year it's in March-ish, in the spring, and we bring together all the members and we open it up to anybody who wants to come. We're open to everybody, So like you all here. And what we do is we come together and we do an open mic sort of situation or a circle, song circle. And that's how I got involved. So in the pandemic, I had heard so much about Focus Music. I wanted to go to a show. I went to one, and it was February of 2020 in Alexandria. It was so good. It was House of Hamel, if you've never heard of them. I'm hoping to bring them here sometime. But they were fantastic, and I thought, this is great, I should get involved, and then the world shut down. And it turned out that they were doing stuff online. And so that's how I ended up I think one thing about being online that was hard, but also beautiful, was that you could go to places that you'd never been to before, as long as you had access to a computer or a phone or something. So that's how I started getting involved with Focus, and then I just showed up and they grabbed me, so.
Lovely. So if people are interested, anyone here, anyone online, interested in getting involved in Focus Music, how would they go about doing that?
Come see me, come to a show, go to our website, focusmusic.org. We also do this Rising Artist Award. I would be very remiss if I didn't say this. If there are any songwriters here or out there, or you know any, we do a Rising Artist Award that awards $1,000 to an emerging singer-songwriter to be used for their next recording, and it's in honor of the Haymans, who were really important folk supporters. And so we do things like that, where we also offer opportunities to local musicians. So that's if you're a local person and you are a songwriter, know somebody, that's a great way to get involved with Focus Music. But also come see us, and we hope to do more partnership and do more shows here. So come see a show. It's a great way to do it. This is a great, fantastic location, and we love the community here and the welcome we've gotten. So it's mutual. Come see me.
Excellent. So I will conclude with a question regarding your recently released album of original music.
Yes.
Tell us how that came to be.
So at some point when I started writing, I thought, I've always wanted to put together an album of my own music. I just had I fell backwards into everything I've done so far with music, and it's just worked out. It's amazing to me. So I had written that EP. I released it in June of 2020. Like I said, always release an album in the middle of a global pandemic. It's a really great way to get your music noticed. And so I got the opportunity to apply for, there's a recording studio in Boston that does crowdfunding, and they do this Rising Artist thing. And I was able to get that, and so they crowdfunded an album for me, and I raised a significant amount of money so I could put all of it towards the album. So I put that towards the album, but we started recording in 2021. As you know, we're still in COVID. Let's not kid ourselves. But it took a long time, it took 3 years. So 3 years of recording, mixing, mastering, put it out into the world March. It was March of this year, and it's been doing great. If you are one of those rare souls here that has CD players, there are not many of us left. They do sound better on CDs. Just a plug. They're coming back. I do have some here, but it was a lot of the music was songs I'd written during the pandemic. So you've heard actually most of the stuff today, with the exception. No, that's not right. The one song you've heard is from that album today. You'll hear more. But that song that I played, You Read My Mind, that was actually a song written by Paul Kors, who died at the young age of 38, but was an incredible singer-songwriter. He lived in New York and Virginia. Obviously, I felt a kinship just knowing that, but also the rest of it's all my music. And so it's been doing quite well, as you heard. But I'm just really grateful that it's out, and people seem to be responding to it. Because, once you release music, it's no longer yours. It's everybody else's. And so, like every musician, you put it out and hope that it'll land with some people, and it seems to be, and that's all that really matters to me.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
One last thing. Is there a question you wish I had answered, I had asked you that I didn't, and you would like to answer without the question?
Yeah, no, you don't need to know my favorite color.
No?
No, I would just say this. There are great organizations here in the area. There's so many wonderful organizations that are featuring art. Whether it's the World Folk Music Association or Songwriters Association of Washington, and there's great music. I mean, we have Wolf Trap. I was just talking to somebody who moved out of the area, and they were like, "I miss Wolf Trap," and I said, "It is a national treasure." We have so much great culture here in the Northern Virginia, D.C., Maryland area that I'm sure that if I was going to go out there and talk to you all about what your interests are, you would tell me all the other things I don't know about the area and the scene. All I would say is please go and support your local musicians. Please go support your local artists. Please support the big artists that come through, but definitely please check out. There's so much talent here, and that is one of the things we aim to do, is bring that talent to you, as well as the folks who are traveling. So please come and see us. That's the most important thing I can say. Please come see a Focus show.
Well, thank you very much, Jillian, and I invite you to share your next song with us.
Okay, all right. Hi again. So this is a song on the album. Yeah, this one, I promise. This song is, so one of the things about this album, when you start writing more music about yourself, I think it was, you've all heard that famous quote, what is it, 3 chords and the truth? Yeah. I use a lot more than 3 chords, but I get to the truth eventually. Is this? I'm not hearing the guitar. I'm going to tune this for you because the one thing I also did, which I'm not supposed to do before a show, this is not a show, this is just a gathering, but, you know, is change my strings. But I needed to, and I cared about your experience, so that's why I did it. But it means that it's all very, it's all still happening. Not sure, can you hear that? It's not picking up? I don't know why I thought that would work. Really? Yeah, everything's plugged in. I've changed nothing. But that doesn't mean I haven't screwed something up. So I also have a fan up here because this gets very funky. Well, I also wonder if I just plug in directly to the. I mean, it seems to be working, but maybe it's not the guitar. Okay, hang on. There's one other thing I can think of. If you'll give me 1 second. Let's try this. I'm sorry. I'm going to try one thing. This is magic. It's not. It's a battery. That's all. It's just magic. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see if that'll work. It's always the battery. Check the battery first, then the cables, and then the artists to make sure they're still there. Let's see if that works. If it doesn't, I'll just sing in the middle of the room. I don't know if you like that very much, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We could try that too. Or we could try to just plug in, but I'm very confused why it's not working. It's always battery. So September of 2020, I went back up to New York. And this song just sort of appeared. So I was starting to say that as you write more songs, you realize a lot of these things end up being about you and your life. So this is a song that's also about me. Maybe I should think of another way to introduce that, but anyway.
Why did I wait so long? What keeps me far away? It's easy to hide when you're afraid, peeking out from underneath the bed, retreating so far inside my head. I've been a refugee from this place. If I dig deep, who would I face? When I look in the mirror, what do I see? Who is looking back at me? What makes you say, what makes you hold? Where do you go when you struggle the most? I turn into you. I'm turning into you. I tried running away from this place. I did all I could to be someone else. I didn't take up too much space. filled that tiny place. Makes you say, makes you whole. Where do you go when you struggle the most? I turn into you. You turn into me. How much time did I waste while I tried erasing you? You've hidden the darkness, waiting to come through. And when I think I've gone as far as I can go, you come back, she comes back. Makes you say, makes you whole. Where do you go when you struggle the most? I turn into you. I turned into me.
It's time for our offering. We have received freely of gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. May we now give gladly a portion of that bounty. 2/3 of the cash offering will support our congregation. The remaining 1/3 will go to support our justice cause. And this month, it's the Loudon Abused Women's Shelter, or LAWS. LAWS has provided emergency shelter, therapy, advocacy, support groups, legal services, and support to victims of domestic and sexual violence free of charge since its founding in 1984. If you're in the sanctuary, you may place your donations in the baskets as they are passed. Online, attendees can use the donate button in the virtual order of service. Donations may also be made by mail or via the donate tab on the UUCS homepage. Please note when your donation is toward your pledge.
As we prepare to conclude our service, I invite you to reach out your hands and your hearts into this space of community to join in a virtual circle, inclusive of all. But first, let us extinguish our chalice while we carry forth its light in our hearts. Please join in sharing the words of our covenant. This congregation is dedicated to the proposition that behind all our differences and beneath all our diversities, there's a unity that binds us together and makes us one in spite of time and death and the space between the stars. We pause now in silent witness to that unity. The words of our benediction come from Albert Einstein. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. I get the most joy in my life out of my violin. So may all of you be so fortunate to live your daydreams in music. Until we meet again, we leave you with one more song from Jillian.
It's really been an honor to be here with all of you today. This is a song also on the album. I see you through the cracks on your surface. Distance between dilutes the purpose. I don't know how we ended up this way. I don't know how to reach you when you hide away. But you say stay. It's been a long, cold winter with you here, right in front of me. Disappear. The ice came early in the fall, and now I'm waiting for the thaw. If it comes at all, you're frozen in, and I can't move. Suspended in time. You say stay, and stay right here. Why do I? You're frozen. You look me in the eye, but you don't see. I think you hear me when I talk, but you don't listen. The days grow longer, but I can't tell. I can't help you if you won't help yourself. It's just as well. You're frozen in, and I can't move. Suspended in time. But you say stay, and stay right here. Why am I? I'm frozen. frozen. We're frozen. Thank you all very much.
Thank you again, Jillian, and we look forward to seeing you back again.
Thank you.
And please give us a few minutes after the service to set up the coffee hour, and you can find the Zoom link in the order of service. Thank you all, and good day.